What up? I was looking at the Boy Blues videos as of late and CPNs that he's done. And CPN did a great video against this Irish guy. It was it's called the greatest ponage ever said or something. And I really liked it. He had a lot of good points in it. He was discussing things about this guy who talks like this. He talks like this, and he talks bad about the Juggalos and all this and that. Well, this guy is, CPM pointed out everything was wrong with this guy. He did a damn good job of it, and this guy is obviously fucked in the head, and he's also a hypocrite, which I can't stand. I never watched his videos. I wouldn't give him the views to do so. By the way, to the kid who was saying, why do Juggalos get up on cams and drink? This is a recovery energy drink. Yeah, not alcohol. I had one Four Loko during one of my videos, and I had a nice little long rant about things I wanted to talk about. Alcohol played no part whatsoever in any of that. Look up the alcohol percentage, asshole. So Boy Blue, he was discussing what was going on with Psychopathic, how he doesn't think it's going to collapse. He's pretty much sure they're going to find new talent. CPN was doing his whole thing against the Irish guy. One of the things he brought up was what happened at the Gathering of the Juggalos 2011 when Charlie Sheen was the host. And that was the Tila Tequila incident where all the Juggalos were throwing shit, and CPN came out and said, yeah, I fucking did, and it was fucking funny. Let's play devil's advocate here for a minute. In one of your videos, in your comment thing, you said devil's advocate all day. Here's something for you to think about. In Mighty Death Pop, they targeted Chris Brown. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos for those of you who don't watch my videos. Or for those of you who are just now tuning in, because my Facebook and my YouTube has blown the fuck up in the past week. Tila Tequila gets assaulted. Fago. With half full bottles, cans, and completely full bottles and cans, and she gets them chucked at her face. Take a picture of Tila Tequila, and then take a picture of Rihanna, and put them next to each other. Both significantly beaten pretty bad. Now, ICP put Tila Tequila out at the Gathering. They paid her to show up at the Gathering of the Juggalos, thinking the Juggalos would love it. The Juggalos would get their rocks off. They'd get to see Tila Tequila without her shirt on, show her tits. And you threw the bottles at her. So you weren't just throwing the bottles at her. It was ICP was trying to do something nice for the family. And you threw bottles at her and threw in their face. And you laugh. You laugh and said it was funny. But Chris Brown, one guy, beats the shit out of Rihanna, his girlfriend. And he should get shot for it. And he should, there's going to be a guy up at the thing with a sniper rifle. A little closer, and all this and that was said on Mighty Death Pop with the whole, Chris Brown song. Interesting. The hypocrisy. And on both ends, not just you, CPN, not any of that. But, Boy Blue was also talking about, it's sad that the ICP has to focus on the FBI thing and the whole gang thing rather than out making money and doing music that they like doing. They're still making money at this. You don't have any idea how much publicity they got after they released the announcement of them suing the FBI at the Gathering of the Juggalos that year? Dude, right now they are at the top, higher than they've ever been since Mighty Death Pop and all this had started. When they started suing the FBI, people who aren't even Juggalos got into it. They got to be little rebels, and they got to piss and moan and do all their things and make videos and throw up all this shit after ICP went and did that. You know who else did something like this? Was the people in the punk rock era. They got to stick it to the government. Johnny Rotten, he got God Save the Queen. She ain't no human being. There is no future, and England's dreaming. Yeah, they're not the first ones to do this. But whenever you speak up against a government or some sort of government agency, it blows into this whole thing like we've never seen this before. How do you think this country was founded? By a bunch of people who obeyed the government and didn't speak up against it? This isn't anything new. Christ. So anyways, Boy Blue discussing that. CPN talking about Tila Tequila. Great videos and all, guys. But you got me thinking. Which is what this whole thing's about, right? You know, make people think. Don't just sit there and brainwash people. Let them think and come up with their own ideas. So here's this one for you. You know, we're on this gang list and you know, we're legit thugs and we throw Faygo bottles and cans and whatever we can get our hands on at Tila Tequila, who ICP paid to show up at the gathering. Then we do songs against Chris Brown. We all party against that. You know, we're bumping to the shit and everything. And then we're talking against, you know, Chris Brown. We should whoop his ass. We should go out and bind him. Yeah, that's the shit we're doing. Do you have any idea what the rest of society is going to think about that when they see us? We look like idiots. We look like that Irish guy when shit like that comes up. But no one's mentioned that. Not thought through. If there's holes in it, I'll find it. And that's what I do. I'll look at videos, I'll analyze them, I'll pay attention to what people are saying. I'm going to go, but wait. I can think of a time. I can think of a place where something like this happened that we did. And that we were in the center of it. TMZ ate that shit up. You know, when Blazy Dead Homie and Twisted were busted with weed. Which, by the way, was right out of Chico, California is where they got the weed from. And they got ran out by one of their roadies or whoever. TMZ, the most unreliable source in celebrity news. You know, that's where they just badmouth every single celebrity. Whether you're Steven Seagal, whether you're Sylvester Stallone, whether you were the next big name in Hollywood, you fuck up and they eat it up like it's nothing and they'll push it out there because they were probably just a bunch of failed actors themselves. Losers. So when in the middle of all this tenacity, all this bullshit, you know, we're trying to do our videos, we're trying to do this and that, we're trying to make a statement, but a lot of people are not even, you know, on our side with the whole thing. You know, we're trying to go against the FBI, but if you've got these psychos, if you got these people that are doing this and that to go up against the FBI, you're not going to hold much water against the FBI. And we're going to look like idiots and gang members and violent people. And they might end up being able to push it further than a gang list. What are we supposed to do now? So, my thought is simply this. Pay no attention to half these guys that are sitting there blowing up Facebooks, that are doing this on YouTube. All that, ignore it. They are petty. Right now, we got to focus on the FBI and have a good strategy on how we're going in on it. You know, it's sad we're on the gang list and whatever, but if you want to get off of this list, if you want to get your name off of the gang affiliations in your city, if you're trying to get this and that done, you're not going to do it by doing stupid shit like that. Calling out Tila Tequila when, you know, or calling out Chris Brown or any of these people is not going to look good on us. So we got to actually think of something logical, strategic, and we got to bring it to the table, which is what we're doing here on YouTube. I hear a bunch of opinions all the time. I get, you know, I've subscribed to, you know, random people, a whole bunch of people, you know, Guido and stuff like that. I mean, you know, not the brightest bulb in the package this Guido guy is, but, you know, obviously, you know, he's like an Esham fam or whatever. He's one of his followers, one of his, you know, groupies, whoever the fuck Guido is. I've seen very few of his videos, not that entertaining. Give two shits about Guido. Guido is about this and all of this. Nothing. Worth nothing. Not worth the attention that we give him for all the negative shit that he spouts. Big Irish spoke about Guido. CPN spoke about Guido. And I believe Big Boy Blue has spoken about Guido. Guido is this small little thing. Right now, the FBI is this really big thing. And we need to focus on the FBI. Unless you guys don't want your names, you know, taken off of a list or whatever, All of these things that are on YouTube, that are published on Facebook, all these pictures that are put up, can all be brought to court by the FBI. They are the Federal Bureau of Investigations. I made a charm with the hatchet man, with a chainsaw, with the abomination symbol, and I put the Federal Bureau of Investigations ring around it to get a slap at the FBI. With designs, with clear thinking, and to say, you want to know something? We aren't standing up for this. You know, you want to give us something? You want to put us on a list? We'll put you on a list. But we're not going to sit here and talk about these things and win this case up against the FBI. That shit's not going to happen. I promise you. We keep putting up stuff like, I'm proud I beat the shit out of Tila Tequila. I'm proud I've done this. You know, I got stoned with 5 friends and 6 people like this status, and you've got 90 people commenting on it. Like, the FBI is not going to see it. Sure, some people might, you know, get away from it. They might not get caught up in it. But in the grand scheme of things, if everyone's posting stuff like that, they're going to say it's organized criminal activity. They're organized by a Facebook. They use social networking. They use all these things to still get orders from the higher up, because all gangs have a lot of leaders. They're going to say there's all these crews. They're going to use the guys in Chicago who are part of the insane Juggalos. All of this is going to get grouped together, and they're going to have the ability and the evidence to do so. And this is not helping matters. You guys want to step up against the FBI? Go, look, listen, we're not putting up with it. We're going to show you we're not putting up with it. But in the grand scheme of things, we got to simmer down and do something productive. You know, ICP's putting up the, you know, put your name here for, you know, not a gang thing, whatever. They're probably making up for losses. I mean, I've already been told that the Mighty Death Pup Tour has been, you know, you can't make money one way, you make it another. You got to make up for potentially lost revenue and completely lost revenue. And you got to try and make that back. And you're going to do whatever you can, whether it's new merchandise, whether it's a re-release of a CD, if it's a special edition that you just got to make a whole new packaging for and send it out. However you're going to do it, you got to do it, and you got to be clever about it. It's business. And that's what you have to do in business. So, the FBI, Tila Tequila, Chris Brown, CPN, Boy Blue, anyone who is watching this right now, I'm telling you, think about what you're doing, think about what you're saying, and do something to either A, change or go, you want to know something? I don't care if I'm on a gang list, but I can promise you there are people out there that are suffering because they're on a gang list. People can't get jobs. People are you know, criminals. No one hires criminals. No one does this. You're looked down at for that. You know, oh, wait, you're part of that whole gang bang thing or whatever? You gang bang bang? That's exactly what's going to happen. And especially if the FBI wins. Because right now, the fact that we're suing them, we're keeping the FBI at bay. They win, there is nothing to stop them. They're going to rub our faces in it. That's a promise. Your call. But you can't sit there and bitch about the FBI putting you on a gang list and then putting shit up when we're trying to fight them. When we take this to court. Because if we're suing them, obviously someone's going to go to court and they're going to have testimonies. They're going to bring in witnesses. They're going to bring in people. And someone's going to say something really stupid, incriminate everybody. One bad apple does spoil a bunch. And the Juggalos have done a damn good job at doing that all themselves with the family and everybody else. Do I have your attention?